See you, Cameron. See you, Brooke. Bye now.
Just want to do a quick mic test. Everyone hear me all right?
Yes.
Fantastic. So what an incredible day it was yesterday. And I mean, I'm guessing you guys learnt a lot. Took a lot of notes. Who learnt some golden nuggets from Diane and from Brian yesterday? Please raise your hands. Absolutely. And I know Diane was going to be here first thing this morning. I just wanted to do a very quick, big welcome again, and just to say a huge thank you for Diane for everything she shared yesterday. And guys, I just want you to kind of raise the roof very quickly. Again, one more time. So a big round of applause and thank you for Diane and Brian for what they shared yesterday. So I'm guessing right now that you're kind of, you've learned so much, you've taken so many notes over the last day, and there's all this information that's been going on. I kind of want to find out whereabouts you're at right now in your life and in your business. So by show of hands, who here would love to be making more money than you're currently making right now on the internet? Please raise your hands. Not only that, but who here would love to have more extra time to be able to enjoy that money? Please raise your hands, and this time say I.
Aye.
Fantastic. Because this is what happens, you see. We're focused on something initially. And you kind of, you first come onto the internet, it's like, this is my focus. This is what I'm going to do. This is my network marketing business. Or it could be an affiliate opportunity. It could be something that you've got going on that I'm really going to focus on this. I'm really going to succeed at this. And, well, it's pretty easy to focus on one thing, isn't it? Pretty easy to focus on one thing. I mean, by show of hands, who here thinks you'd be able to throw and catch one ball without any problems? Please raise your hands. But the internet's not like that, is it? Life's not like that, because what happens, just as you've got your eye on this, it's like, I'm going to succeed at this. This is definitely what I'm going to be doing. It's up here. All of a sudden, it's like, shiny object. I can't, somebody contacts you, somebody says, this is the best thing, this is a new pre-launch opportunity, this is the best product in the world, and you're like, I can't afford it, it's a scam, waste of time, and you're like, all right then, I'll have a go, let me have a go. And it's like, I'll tell you what I'll do 50% focus on this, I'll do 50% on this. I'll do this in the morning, I'll do this in the evening. I'll balance my day like this, and all of a sudden you're like, how am I going to do this? But the challenge is, each one of these things has actually got about 5 to 10 other things attached to it as well, hasn't it? You've got to promote it somehow as well. It's like, okay, so 50% focus, here we go. And all of a sudden, you're starting to kind of juggle things a little bit more. And this is, again, it's your Facebook, it's your Twitter, it's your blog, it's your YouTube, it's your Pinterest that you take on. It's your setting up your attraction marketing funnel, it's your network marketing business. All of a sudden, you start to manage it just about, don't you? And it takes a little bit of time, but out of interest, by show of hands, who thinks you could throw and catch 2 balls with a little bit of practice maybe? Please raise your hands and say I.
Aye.
Fantastic. Because just as you start to get good at it, what happens is something else comes along, doesn't it? Like, I've got these, this is the morning, this is the afternoon stuff. Shiny object. I'm focused, I can't do it really. Waste of time. But this isn't working, is it now? What's the point? Now this stupid internet thing is not working anyway, so I need to do this as well. Because when I do this, then it's going to work, isn't it? Then it's going to make the difference. And I'm, all right then, hang on a second, let me have a go. So now you've got these 3 things, and you're like, how do I even start? How do I even manage this? And all of a sudden you've got, okay, here we go. So we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got video, we've got family, we've got to do the shopping, we've got to manage our network marketing business, speak to our customers. It's like, oh my goodness me, how in the world am I going to do this? Oh, just about managing just about managing to hold things up. And you've just got your head above water. And just as that happens, something else comes along, doesn't it? Something else. And this is, well, this is the last thing, this is the last shiny object. And what I need is a member of the audience here, if you're happy to do this, just to throw me this in a second. And what I'll do is I'm going to catch this. I'm just going to just explain a couple of other things first, and then I'll give you a quick shout. I'll say, throw me the ball. What I'm going to do is I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to continue to juggle it. All right? So it'll be a couple of seconds, and I'll... Okay, so...
Negative thinking now.
We've got everything going on. We've got our family, we've got to look after the kids, we've got to go shopping, we've got our network marketing business, we've got our internet marketing business, we've got our Twitter, our Facebook, our YouTube, and we're like, oh my goodness, I'm just about keeping my head above water. Help, help, if you want to throw me that ball any second, I'm going to catch it and I'm going to... And everything comes crashing down around you. Only in life, they're not juggling balls, are they? What it is damaged relationships with family, with children, with partners. Yeah, definitely. We'll go out tonight, we'll go out tomorrow. I'll do it at the weekend. We'll spend some time together then. The weekend comes, the morning comes, the night comes. I'm so sorry, darling. I'm so sorry, children. Like, we can't. I've got to work. I've got to do this internet stuff. If I don't do this internet stuff, if I don't make this work, I'm not going to be able to look after the kids. Not going to be able to buy the kids anything. It's so critical to learn to build these focus muscles. You might want to write this down, but if you want to succeed in this industry, you need to learn to focus. You need to learn how to align your focus. You need to learn how to focus on the small percentage of things that actually work in this industry. It's absolutely critical. So if I could show you just a couple of ways today that could help increase your productivity so you're able to get more from your time. So you're able to get more things done, therefore you're able to make more money because of that. You're able to take more time off and you're able to spend more time doing the things that you want to do with your family, with your children, doing the things that you love to do. If I could show you just a couple of ways that would help you with that, is that something that would be of interest to you? Please raise your hands and say aye.
Aye.
Fantastic. If I could ask if you have any specific questions at all, if it's possible just to write them down as we go, and what I'll do, I'll answer them in the break later. I'll be around all day, all evening, to kind of answer any specific questions that you have. Then, because we've only got a very short period of time, it allows me to be able to teach you exactly what I want to teach you today, because there's a lot that we want to get through. I want to teach you the ultimate focus formula very shortly, and I want to go through how to basically implement that in your life and into your business. So it was 2005, about 7 years ago, I worked at the car phone warehouse. And I was making about £1,200 per month. But I hated the job, and to make matters worse, I had a girlfriend at the time called Sadie. Now Sadie was very beautiful. She got long blonde hair. She's very attractive. But the problem with Sadie, she was basically a money grabber. She wanted me to buy her things all the time, and I couldn't afford to. I was in a £1,200 a month job. And I remember this one night, we went into we were sitting downstairs and put my arm around her, having this conversation, and it was kind of a really turning and defining moment. And she turned to me and she said to me, she was from Birmingham as I was, but she said to me in her best Brummie accent, she said, "Gavin, I can't stay with you any longer because you can't afford to buy me anything. I need things. I need you to buy me stuff." I'm like, my goodness me, this is the girl I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and now she's telling me that I can't afford to keep her. So I literally had my back to the wall at that point. I'm like, I've got to do something to make this work. I've got to do something to change this. What can I do? I'm like, get onto the internet, I'm kind of looking around, I must be able to make money using the internet somehow. So I get onto the internet and I'm surfing around, looking at auction sites, looking at survey sites, and eventually I get into the gambling related industry. And somehow start betting on Betfair, which is a bookmaker effectively. No idea how I got in there in the first place, but ended up losing about £5,000 because of it. Now, what happened after that, and the good thing that happened from that, is that I was able to meet a lot of connections, a lot of great people in the gambling industry. One guy called Tony, he was basically a successful gambler. He got a system that worked incredibly well. And I'm like, I've read on the internet somewhere that if you create your own info product, it gives you that leverage that you need to be able to become successful, to be able to generate leads and prospects on autopilot for your business and make cash on autopilot. I'm like, this is what I need to do. So I get on email, because I hadn't really spoken to Tony before. I said to Tony, I said, would it be possible for you to package your system up and I'll sell it, I'll basically create an ebook from it. And what we'll do is we'll split the profits 50-50. He's like, yeah, definitely. Fantastic, I've got my own product. Didn't have to do anything for it at all. So, but I didn't realise what it was going to entail, did I? I didn't realise it was going to take me 6 months and another £3,000 or £4,000 to set this product up, because I had no knowledge, nobody to help me, nobody to hold my hand. I absolutely struggled with that, the technology, integrating with ClickBank, setting up the payment processor, setting up the affiliate program, writing the sales copy. In fact, you can see the product right there, the Layers Edge it was called, and it's actually still available right now. I think probably the sales copy that I originally wrote is still there, so if anyone wants to look it up later, feel free. But it's not the best product in the world, and it got to that point in the. I promised Sadie that this was going to work. I promised Tony that this was going to work, and it got to this point that I need to make this live. I've wasted 6 months of my life doing this now. I don't know if anyone's ever been in the position or the situation where you've created a blog, you've created a website, you've created a video, you've created a product maybe, and it's just sat there and you're like, I'm really nervous, I don't want to do it. I need to put it live, but if I do that, I think what's going to happen is people are just going to laugh at me. People are going to mock me. Has anyone ever been in that situation before? Anybody ever? And I felt exactly the same way. I'm like, I've got to do it, I've got to do it. So it gets to, I think it was a Wednesday night, and I remember that specifically, it got to about 11:30. I get onto the computer, I'm like, I need to make this live, I need to make this live, I need to make this live. So I press the button to make the website live. So now the Layers Edge is live. I'm like, sigh of relief, my heart was pounding. I'm like, what's going to happen? People are going to laugh at me, people are going to mock me. And the next morning I check my stats, absolutely nothing. 2 days later, absolutely nothing. 1 week later, absolutely nothing. 2 weeks later, not even a visitor to the website. What a mug I was to believe that this internet thing was going to work. What a fool I was. Unbelievable. So I remember just completely getting right to the bottom, and around the same time, Sadie dumped me for another man who had some money. So basically I've got a product that didn't work, I'd got a job I hated, I was about 10 grand in debt by now, and I had no girlfriend, no partner that I was going to spend the rest of my life with, and literally turned to alcohol. Now that looks like a very funny picture, and I did have a good time during that period of time, but I was at rock bottom deep down. I put on a front, I put on a face that this was going to work for me, but deep down inside I was really in pain, it was horrible. And I remember just getting home one night, just sitting down in the living room, just thinking, what is going on? And I just remember having tears just running down my eyes, thinking, why me? Why can't I make this work? What is wrong with me? Why can't I do this? And I just remember this voice in my head. Well, I think it was in my head, I don't know, I'm hoping it was in my head, because if it wasn't, I was a bit scared because there was no one else around. This voice just whispered and said, Gavin, you need to find somebody who's done this before. You need to find somebody who's done this before. And at that moment, I'm like, this is it. I need to find somebody who's done this before, somebody who's had success at this, somebody who's made money from the internet. So I kind of search around, and eventually I find this coach very close to me who made multi-million pounds worth of, sold multi-million pounds worth of products. So I thought, well, I've got no money left, what am I going to do? So I go to the bank. I knew if I told the bank I was going to be investing in a coach, effectively, a mentor, they would just have laughed at me. Because they don't lend money for that kind of thing, do they? They don't lend money for investments. They lend money for liabilities.
Yeah.
So I told them I was going to buy a car. Here you go, Gavin Mountford. Here you go, Mr. Mountford. Here's £3,000. So I get the money. I go and hire this coach, and I sit down with him this one day, and he was an incredibly clever guy. I sit opposite him, and he's like, absolutely verbally bullies the heck out of me. He really did. He was really intense, really just like a coach should be. But I tell you what, he got results. He made me change. That was the defining moment. All of a sudden, well, in fact, he told me three things that I needed to do in order to make a difference in my life and in other people's lives. He told me three things. Those three things were, well, number one, he told me to read a specific book. Read a specific book, and you may want to write this down as well. I know many of you have already read it, but the book was called Magnetic Sponsoring. Now, hands up here, who've read Magnetic Sponsoring before? Okay, if you haven't, I strongly recommend getting hold of a copy. It was mentioned yesterday as well. I think it's one of those books that all top marketers, internet marketers, network marketers read, because it talks more about attraction marketing. That completely changed my mindset about how the whole thing worked. The second thing he told me was, if you've got your own product, you need to go and find partners to be able to get your message out there, to be able to get the traffic out there. So, okay, great. So I start setting up a few things there. And at that point, he told me you need to master productivity and time management. That was the third thing he told me. He said, basically, if all of this stuff going on out here, all of this information, all of this noise, all of this stuff that you're learning, and I mean, we've all got 24 hours a day, haven't we? We've all got 7 days a week, we've all got 365 days per year. So what is it that makes the difference between a Dagan Smith, a Brian, a Jay, a Rachel, a Gavin Mountford, a Diane Hockman, a Richard Branson, a Tony Robbins? How do these people make so much money? How do these people live completely different lives to many other people? How are these people able to impact and make such a difference, make such a change in other people's lives and really inspire other people? How is that? There's one skill, there's one fundamental skill that they and we have actually mastered and learned. That skill is what I'm talking about today. That skill is the ability to get rid of all this noise that's been going on, all this stuff that's around, kind of floating around in the air, and actually focus on the 20% of things that actually work. But take 80% of your time and attention on that one thing. And it's your job, obviously, to find that one thing that works. It's critical. Now, I mean, if you think about all the notes you took yesterday, if you think about all the products you've bought recently, all the courses you may have bought, all the workshops you've been to, all that information that's out there, what can you do with it? Wouldn't you agree that probably one of the most important skills that you would need to learn and master in order to become successful on the internet is productivity and time management and focus? Please raise your hands and say aye. It has to be, doesn't it? It's got to be that foundational level. It's got to be that thing that makes the biggest difference. So that's exactly what I did. I went and mastered this. I read about 300 books, David Allen, Getting Things Done, just the whole works. Went to workshops, seminars, basically became obsessed with that kind of thing, because I knew that there was something making the difference with the people that you see right there on the screen. And at that point, I'm like, well, this is it. I need to focus. I need to get this done. I need to succeed at this. So I went out and created, because I went out and initially I'd noticed, as the coach said, that I needed to find joint venture partners. So what I did was started to attract people that way, using magnetic sponsoring and the things. And I had an email from a lady called Leslie Ann, who was an owner of a website called bettingbots.com. She emails me and she says, Gavin, would it be possible to promote the Layer's Edge to my list? I'm like, yeah, definitely, no, absolutely. What do I need to do? She's like, well, you don't need to do anything. I'll just go to ClickBank, I'll grab the affiliate link, and I'll promote it for you. I'm like, fantastic, great. So forget all about it. A couple of days later, I'm out at the pub again, enjoying myself, just drinking like I did. Get home that night and completely kind of wander into the house like this. if you've ever been in that situation where you kind of come home and you're just wandering into the house, you unlock the door, I walked up the stairs to my bedroom, sit down at the computer, turn the computer on, click my emails. I was using Microsoft Outlook at the time, or Outlook Express. And all of a sudden, I don't know if anyone's used Outlook Express before, but you get this send and receive email. And it said, receiving 46 messages. I'm like, what's going on? What's this? Like, you've made a sale, 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 you've made a sale. Oh my God, quickly, log into ClickBank really quick, see what's going on. It's like, oh my God. I think $6,500 in sales in just 4 hours I've made. And this was from one person sending out an email to her list for the product that I had basically failed at for the last year, close to. The product that I lost my girlfriend to as well. I believed that the internet worked finally. Finally, I believed. And I'll tell you what, since then I've gone on to create 11 different information products, and you'll see 4 of them very shortly. But it's not the money necessarily for me, it's what the money can buy, it's the lifestyle, it's the time with family, it's the time doing the things that I want to do when I want to do it with whoever I want to do it with. That's the key. You know, there's my little daughter Lottie, and you know, I go in first thing in the morning about 7 o'clock, and she's kind of there at the bars going, Daddy, 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 and I'm like, oh, it's what I do it for. You know, it makes my day, it really does. And the fact that I'm able to spend time with her, the fact that I'm able to spend time with Lottie is just priceless to me. But I'm nobody special. I'm just somebody that had a dream, somebody that had a vision, somebody that was driven and motivated to push through those boundaries. And you can do this too, you absolutely can do this. You have to believe in yourself. If you're hitting block after block after block, just keep going. Take all this information, find a way to turn it into a plan that you can implement and take action on. Make sure you do that. What I want you to do is just write this date down now. It's the 9th of the 2nd, 2013. The 9th of the 2nd, 2013. I'll tell you why very shortly. Okay, so I'm guessing everybody's heard that multiple streams of income are absolutely essential, aren't they? I mean, who's heard that before? Please raise your hands and say aye. Aye. Multiple streams of income are absolutely priceless. And I mean, if you think about it, let's just say you have a full-time day job and it's your only source of income. Your whole family and lifestyle depends on that income. What happens if you lose that job? What happens if you get made redundant? What happens if you injure yourself? What happens to your lifestyle? What happens to your children? What happens to your family? What happens to your dreams and your vision if that goes, if something happens? Because things change, doesn't it? But I tell you what, imagine this. Imagine you have 10 sources of income because you use the internet effectively, because you've mastered your time, your productivity, you're able to focus and get things done to become successful. And now all of a sudden you have 10 different income streams. Now if one of those income streams goes, what happens? What happens to your life? What happens to your business? Nothing, does it? Why? Because you've still got 9 other income streams there. Now how many projects have you started in the last day, week, month, year, 5 years or 10 years that you have not completed or finished because you were unfocused and unproductive? Just think about that in your mind. Just go back and think, how many websites have I set up? How many products have I bought? How many trainings? How many, all that stuff that's been going on. Has that ever happened? Have you ever set up more than a couple of those things but never finished them? Please raise your hands and say aye. See, this is one of the challenges. Is there's so much stuff out there, isn't there? Now, if you were making just £10 per day from each of those projects, each of those tasks, each of those websites, each of those businesses that you maybe set up at one point, how much would you be making right now? How much money would you be making per day? I mean, seriously, if you think about it, it must be 5 or more, possibly 10 of these things that you may have done that you kind of did half of it. And what happens is, it's like, dig a little hole. No gold there. Dig a little hole. There's no gold there. Dig another hole. There's no gold there. Dig another hole. No gold. Dig another. this stupid internet, it does not work. What a waste of my time. When actually what happened was you were here, you dug about 10, 15 different holes. The gold was here all along. All you needed to do was dig, 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 chink. And you hit the jackpot. You hit the gold. Just go a little bit further. Just stay with something for long enough to make a difference, to make an impact in other people's lives. I mean, imagine, what would you do with an extra £3,000 per month on autopilot if you'd have stuck with all those things as you've been going? Would that make a big difference to your life? Probably would, wouldn't it? So I want to tell you something that will probably shock you, but is absolutely true. And that is that, and again, you may want to write this down because this is going to be one of those nuggets, one of those takeaways that you'll think about when you're doing this stuff and when you've got all this stuff going on. And that is that multiple streams of income are absolutely pointless if you're not making money from any of them. I mean, seriously, what's the point of having all this stuff going on out here? It's like all this juggling going on. I'm not making any money from any of them, but no, here's something else, let me take that on. I mean, what's the point of doing that? Again, it comes down to the focus on the one thing. Get it set up, because we can only do one thing at a time. We can't do all this other stuff. So we can get it set up and then move on to the next, automate it effectively, and then move on to the next. And eventually you have, get one done effectively is the motto. Get one done, whatever it is you've got going on. So I want to go through the ultimate focus formula with you right now. I'm going to use the board, the flip chart there, just to write a few things down. So again, you may want to keep your notepads out because there'll be some things to take away from this. The ultimate focus formula, basically when you use it in your business, will make a huge difference. It'll make a huge difference in your day to literally help you double your productivity. So you can get more things done in less time, therefore you're able to take more time off and do what you want to do with the rest of your life. I mean, life's not meant for working all the time, is it? We don't get to the end of our life and on our deathbed and go, I wish I'd spend more time at the office. Do we? So, let me go through the ultimate focus formula with you. Basically, there's 3 steps to this. There's three steps, so you may want to write that down at the top, the ultimate, and you may not be able to read my writing very well. The ultimate focus formula. We'll try 3, I may need to use a different page in a second, but there's 3 parts to this. And the second one, what I'm going to do in a few minutes, but I'm going to give you a quick demo of a piece of software called the Results Machine software that I use myself, that many of you guys have used as well. We'll find out how many very shortly, but basically there are 3 parts to this, and when you get this right, you can separate your life from your business. You know, when you're focused with your family, you're focused with your family. You're not thinking about work all the time. When you're at work, you're focused on your work. You're not thinking about family all the time, because it merges, doesn't it? When you're at home and you're working, it's like somebody barges into the room. Could you help me with dinner, please? Could you do the washing, please? I'm trying to work. This is important, isn't it? But people don't realise how important it is to you to do this. So the first part of the ultimate focus formula, well, before I explain, what happens is in our bodies, in our life, we basically have ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, and it's our energy levels. You know, for me, first thing in the morning, I'm lively. I'm awake. I was awake at 5:30 this morning for some bizarre reason, full of energy, not being able to sleep. But I know after lunch I'm going to go down in a dip, and then afternoon I'm going to come up and then go back down, then up again in the evening, and then I'm back. Energy levels tend to dip, don't they? Focus levels tend to dip. I mean, how long can you focus on writing a blog post before you're in Facebook, before you're checking your email, before you're on your phone? You know, it happens, doesn't it, quite often, and you may not even realise it's happening because it just becomes an automatic habit. So this mirrors the first thing in the morning for me, energy levels quite high, then it comes down a bit, then it goes up again, then it comes down a bit, then it goes up again, then it comes down, then back up in the evening, and then down, and kind of want to go back to bed here. And you're probably maybe similar in that respect that, I mean, everybody's got different energy levels at different times. You may be full of energy last thing at night, you may be full of energy in the morning, but it's finding your cycle and becoming aware of that. Because what you can do is something called the 60-60-30 method. 60-60-30 method. Basically, this mirrors your body clock, your life cycle, your energy levels. This mirrors that, so you can take advantage of it when you're working on your internet business, when you're working on your network marketing business. And basically what happens is you break this time up. This is time chunks, effectively. So I'll go into it in a slightly more detail in a second, but basically the premise is you focus for 60 minutes, and you focus on something for 60 minutes, then you take a 30-minute break. Now, in that break, you get away from the computer. Completely just get away from the computer. Get some fresh air, go outside, enjoy yourself, relax, just refresh your mind. So when you come back again later, you're fully refreshed, you have full energy, and you're ready to go. Because the worst thing that you can do, and you may do this, I don't know, you just sit at your computer all day and not get anything done. Not get anything done. You look back at the day, it's like, God, what a waste of a day. So the 60-60-30 basically mirrors that, but what we do is, as I said, most people struggle to focus for any length of time on anything because our focus muscles aren't yet developed, and it's about developing those focus muscles. So effectively what we can do to start with is we can do a 50-10 in the first 60-minute chunk. So break the first 60-minute chunk down into a 50 minutes and a 10-minute break. So you focus now for only 50 minutes on a task, on a project, on whatever it is you're doing, on a blog post, on a video, and then you take a 10-minute break. Now what you can do during that 10-minute break, again, you can get away from the computer, or you can do something called a breakaway session, which I'll cover maybe a little bit later. You can do a breakaway session, or again, you get a 10-minute break, which means again, you go out the house, you just get away from the computer, because when you come back for your next 60-minute chunk, you'll find that you're full of energy, you'll find that you're fully refreshed and you're ready to go again. 60-60-30, then you take your 30-minute break. I'm going to demo this in a few minutes using my results machine software just so you can see how it kind of works in principle. But, and if you, as I say, if you have any questions, again, just write them down, come and ask me later, and I can go into more detail about this for you. Yeah, I'll cover the breakaway session at some point, because breakaway essentially is all these little things that you've got, answering your phone and checking your voicemail, checking your email, checking your text, on Facebook, on Skype, on Twitter, all these things that are taking your attention away from actually what you should be doing. You do it in a breakaway session, essentially. So you get away from everything else and you go, okay, I'll focus on that during that period of time. So what I want to do very, very quickly is, do you remember I said I've created 11 different information products in the in this industry. One of the, this is a golden nugget for when you get to this stage, and that is that if you want to make money online, you've got to identify some of these pains, problems, challenges, and effectively you've got to create a solution to help with that. So I get on the phone to, I think it was 29 different internet marketers, network marketers, bloggers, and affiliate marketers, finding out what the problems were. I was doing this through coaching, effectively. So I'm asking them questions, and the thing that came up time after time after time was the fact that it was hard to focus. There was all this noise going on, all this stuff going on in their life, and they were kind of all over the place. So I thought, well, this is a major problem, isn't it, for people? What if I could create something that would help those people? What would happen if I could do that? If I could make a real difference in their lives, wouldn't that be worthwhile? So what I did, I created Double Your Business Productivity. Again, I know many of you have probably seen Double Your Business Productivity, but essentially there's 4 components to this. And Double Your Business Productivity has 13 different videos to go through the entire process. There are several webinars inside, there's PDF worksheets, there's action guides, and there's blueprints to literally help you double your business productivity. There's the strategies in there. That's the full strategies that you need to be able to implement all of this stuff that's going on, all of these notes, all of these things that you've got going on, all these products. What I then did was had a piece of software developed called the Results Machine that I'm going to give you a quick demo of in a minute. So you can essentially take those strategies and what I'm teaching you today and the strategies in W Business Productivity, you can implement them into the results machine software, which will help you keep you focused on a daily basis, which effectively, if you use what I teach you, can help you turn 1 hour into 4 using leverage. Then I decided to create something called Getting Things Done for Internet Marketers. There's a book by David Allen called Getting Things Done, which, incredible book, talks about 5 stages of workflow. There's collect, process, organise, review, and do. This is the process to get all these ideas out of your head, all these things, because we're creative as entrepreneurs, aren't we? We're creative. We always want to be doing more things. So how do you get all that stuff out of your head and put it into action? Well, that's what this teaches you. Basically, I modelled what David Allen teaches for internet and network-based marketers. And then, just out of interest, has anybody here ever struggled with procrastination? Anybody ever struggled with not sure what to do? It's like, if I do that, then it's be the wrong thing. I need to do that. I can't do it. Well, this is why I created Wake Up Motivated. To literally help people wake up full of energy in the morning, identify their purpose, their passion, their point of focus, their values, their principles, their goals, so everything's aligned. So you shut out all of this other stuff that you've got going on. Get rid of all this noise. Because when you start the morning full of energy, full of action, with a habit, a daily ritual that you do on a daily basis, Tony Robbins talks about this all the time, setting up your morning routine. When you do that, everything changes, because now you're focused for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month. None of this other noise going on. You're focused. So Wake Up Motivated was created. Now, the bad news is that Double Your Business Productivity is not for sale. You know, I took it off the market about 6 months ago, because basically it sold out. There was a lot of people, as I said before, a lot of people in pain and in challenge, really struggling with what they were doing. Now, the full cost of Double Your Business Productivity, if you were able to buy it in its various components, is £797. £797, and that is value, absolutely, to be able to take all of this stuff that you've got going on again, to implement into your business. Now, what I want to do is I want to get back to the ultimate focus formula again. I just wanted to just explain that so you knew that when you ever you're about to set up a product, make sure you match your target market's problems and pains to the solution that you can provide, because that's how you succeed at this. This is what happened with the layers edge. So let me go back through. In fact, what I need now is I need to get onto my computer and I need to do the second thing, which is, it allows you to basically box your time. It's similar in a way to the 60-30 method. I'm going to do a quick demo on the results machine now, but it's called time boxing. Time boxing. And there are 3 components to time boxing, and again, you may not be able to read my notes, you may want to come and grab this later, but so I will explain it a couple of times for you. Before I do that, one of the biggest things, to do in order to become more productive, most people don't actually do. How many people here write a list? Please raise your hand. Fantastic. How many people here don't write lists? Please raise your hand. Fantastic. So when you write a list, what happens is all of this information that's in your head, it allows you to get out of your head. It allows you to all of a sudden start to generate more creativity, become more creative with everything that you've got going on, because now you've got an empty head effectively. You're not holding on to all this other stuff that's going on. So writing a list, I would certainly say, is absolutely critical. There's obviously reasons why some people don't, and that's absolutely fine as well. But it's when you write the list that's the most important part. Most people write the list in the morning, right? Would you say you write your lists in the morning mainly?
No, not anymore.
Okay, great. That's where I'm coming to. Okay, so no, it's great. It's great that you do write it the evening before, because that's exactly the right time to do it. Because what happens when you write your list the night before, you've just finished work effectively. Now you write your list, like you're still there, you're still current, you still know what's going on, and then it gives your mind the chance to be able to go through that overnight effectively. So you're not worrying, what am I going to do tomorrow? You know what you're going to do. So you hit the ground first thing in the morning. You've got your list ready, and effectively, I'm just going to come down here now. You may not be able to see me for a second, but I'm just going to go onto the results machine. I've got my list that I've written effectively here. Hopefully you can see that. Now that may be similar to what you guys have to do on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. I'll go through this and I'll just explain what I would do here using the software. So today I've got to write my blog post. As I said, there's 3 steps to this time boxing. The first is to write the list the night before. The second, I'll go through in a second. Write blog post. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to allocate a specific time. Now, would you say that 60 minutes is a good time to write a blog post? 60 minutes probably? Yeah, about an hour? Okay, write blog post. If you're focused completely, if you're not distracted with all this other stuff going on. Okay, so you write your blog post for 60 minutes. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to write an article, but this time we're going to write the article for Better Networker. And we're going to do a really good job. So we're going to do Better Networker. We're going to say 90 minutes for that. Okay, record a video. All right, got to record a video today. It's going to take about 60 minutes because I want to do a good job. Or you want to do a good job. Just imagine yourself going through this process first thing in the morning. Just think about this actually happening and you sitting down. And actually what you can do once you've got the results machine set up is you can create default lists here that you've got all of your actions that you do on a regular basis inside the results machine. So literally you can plan your day in 2 minutes or less, literally. You just literally by clicking a button. It's just taken me slightly longer because I am talking as well. Okay, 30 minutes to produce video. Let me just quickly squeeze through this. Call your prospects. How long do you take to call your prospects? Let's go 2 hours today. Maybe not that long normally. But as you start to get more leads and prospects because of this process, it'll take you slightly longer if you're calling them back. Check and reply to email, everybody's favourite. Spend focused time with family. Now, most people don't do this, do they? And that's often, I mean, you may do, but it's one of the biggest things to get on your list is spend focused time with family. And when I say focus, I mean away from the computer, not on the phone, none of this other stuff. Do your syndication routines, because I'm guessing many of you are maybe bloggers who comment and share on other people's content. 30 minutes for that, and let's go with the last. Do Facebook routines and breakaway. Let's go with 30 minutes for that. Okay, so we've got everything in results machine software. So now we come to, basically the second step that we do is to, when in the past, let's say you've got something that you're going to be doing, you've got a deadline, you've got a handsome homework in, you've got to do something for something that you've got to be done. When do you tend to do most of that work? It tends to be done the night before, doesn't it, with a lot of people. Again, you may do this well in advance. It may take you, you may do it the night before, but basically what happens is this acts as a pressure cooker environment. Most people, the reason most people do what they do right at the last minute is because it's like, I've got to do it, I need to do it, I need to get this done now. If I don't, I'm going to get in trouble. So what you do is you allocate a time to each of your tasks. Allocate a time to each of your tasks. That's the second step. That's what we just did. So now, as you can see there, 9 hours 30 this is going to take us. If you look at the very top here, 9 hours 30. It's going into the yellow, which is here, which means it's starting to get a little bit risky. You maybe want to keep this about 8 hours if you've got a full-time, if you're able to work fully on your business. It could be 2 hours, it could be 4 hours. But use the 60-60-30 method. And what happens, okay, so what's going to happen now, I'm going to write my blog post. So I click on start, it counts the timer down, and it gets to, let's say, I check it, and I mean, it'll beep at 0 to let me know, but oftentimes I'll stop it at about 10 minutes, I'll come on over, at 50 minutes, sorry, I'll come on over and take a 10-minute break. I'll click on the 10-minute break timer. I go out, I get away from the computer, I come back, and I'm refreshed, I'm fully refreshed, I'm ready to go again. And then what happens is you come back, you do 60-minute focus, now you're writing your article with Better Networker. Again, just imagine yourself going through this process. Just think about how you do your work on a daily basis and how this could make you so much more productive, becoming focused. And the last thing I'm going to teach you in a second is the most important. Okay, then what we do is we take our 30-minute break, get away from the computer, get refreshed, eat something, and then come back again. And you can just go through this process time and time again. The great thing with the results machine is, and if there's anybody here that loves stats, then you've got all the stats there from everything that, you know, how long did you take on with a certain project, how long did you waste, and you can monitor, because in order to become more productive, you need to know where that time's going. You need to identify where that time's going, because it's going somewhere, isn't it?
As I said before, you've got default lists that you can add. You can basically plan a day, a week, or a month if you want to, or anything else that you want to here. You've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then you've got all the days of the week, or all the days of the month. Personally, I only plan, oftentimes I plan a week now, but I know I can't be rigid because life's not like that, is it? Life has to be flexible because there's all these things that come along as we go. So that's basically the results machine in action. Let me just very quickly write those 3 things down so you've got them. Number 1 was write a list. Night before. Guys, is this stuff valuable? Is this stuff something that will really help in your day-to-day activities and your day-to-day focus? Okay, write a list the night before. The second thing is to allocate time. Allocate time to each of those tasks. The third thing is to focus 100%. And I'm going to talk about this last thing right now. Let me just get my slides back on very quickly. Okay, so very, very quickly, I mean, how much time is distraction costing you? The third thing is eliminate distraction. Now, people don't realise oftentimes that distraction is completely costing time and money and attention and just, there's all this stuff going on, isn't it? All this stuff that we talked about just. How much time and money are distractions costing you? In time alone, and this is absolute minimum, by the way, when I've consulted with businesses, when I've consulted with individuals before, I've been able to uncover at least 10 hours per week, and this applies to internet marketers, network marketers, because there's so much time being wasted. Effectively, that's 20 days of your life at 10 hours per week. 20 days of your life wasted, and this is absolute minimum. What could you do with 20 days of your life? Seriously, if you had an extra 20 days a year, where would you go? Who would you go on holiday with? How would you spend that precious time with the people that you love and the people that you care about? Financially, and there's 2 ways to look at this financially, is 500 hours wasted, effectively £6.08 per minimum wage. That's over £3,000 that could be made, and this is absolute minimum again, this could be completely different, but there's 2 ways to look at this. The way that I think is probably more applicable is, how many courses have you bought? How many webinars have you been on? How many workshops have you attended recently? How much money have you spent on your own education? How much of that stuff have you actually implemented in your business? And has it paid back? Because this is where the financial drain is, isn't it? Because maybe you've been unfocused and unproductive on a few things. All of that, and you're maybe not able to take all the information that's being shared and put into some kind of plan of action, it tends to be a huge financial drain. What I'd like to do very quickly is just, I know a few people of you have already used the Results Machine software and used some of W Business Productivity. I just wanted to hear from a few of you guys. Jay, I don't know if you've got the other microphone available, just for a couple of guys, just to say just a couple of words about it. It may actually be here, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe if we go with Debbie, who's at the front just there. I know Debbie's been through, I've done some consulting with Debbie as well.
Hello. Hello.
Just wanted to hear a few. There you go, perfect. So yeah, just your experiences, with learning this stuff, just so people can see how powerful it is.
As you know, I've got the Results Machine, which I found to be fantastic for helping me to focus. I've also used the time boxing. In fact, any of Gavin's strategies are absolutely brilliant. If you're looking to find focus because you're procrastinating, then Gavin is certainly somebody that you need to be speaking to, and also using his products. So you've not really seen the Results Machine in practice yet, but what it allows you to do is you make sure you turn everything off. So you turn off your phone, you turn off your Facebook, you turn off your notifications, and you just get on and work. So if you've got a task to do, you've got that clock ticking in the background. It makes you move your bum. That's the long and the short of it. You know you've got to get that done because that Results Machine is ticking away. and so it really focuses you, and you do become very, very productive. And all of the other little bits and pieces that Gavin brings in with the productivity, you get a whole package. So yeah, procrastination is gone.
Yeah, no, it's good to hear. And it's great working with you as well with some of the stuff that we've been doing. Angus, would you be happy just to share just a couple of words, just so, again, because different people's perspectives is so important, I think.
The main thing that it helped me do originally was to eliminate distractions. I would be someone who would sit to do a blog post and be on my Facebook checking my email, texting. As my friends know, I'm bad at that. But it does help me when I'm focusing to focus, and one of the first times that I used the results machine, I probably got all my tasks that would have normally taken me a whole day done in about 2 or 3 hours. Time boxing's amazing, and what I like is training myself to actually have breaks. And as Debbie said as well, the timer totally works knowing that you've only got a certain time. And as part of Gavin's products as well, I would say that coaching with Gavin has really helped me, because I was trying to create lots of businesses at one time, but actually just focusing on one, and I would totally trust anything that he suggests.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Just one last person, Jordan. Because, Jordan, one of the youngest guys here, as we discovered yesterday, has also been using the software and just the strategies as well.
Yeah, for me, just structuring everything that I wanted to get done in the day, because a lot of time I waste time just spending time on Facebook and Twitter and things, not actually knowing what I needed to do. So just listing everything and then using the results machine. I mean, I got things done that would have taken me a week in sort of 4 hours, and it also helped me focusing on spending time with my friends and my girlfriend and things, because I didn't realise before I took the course how often I put spending time with them off, and be like, oh yeah, I can't come out because I've got to do this and that, and then I'll end up just sitting on Facebook or sitting on Twitter actually getting nothing done, and I've wasted an evening, and I could have been having fun or being more productive with my business. So that's the main thing that helped me really was focusing on the individual aspects of my life and being productive in everything I do, not just the business side of things.
Thank you very much, I appreciate that. If you just want to turn the mic off, maybe just pass it back to the table at the back. Thank you for that. Guys, as you know, the price of Double Your Business Productivity, everything I just shared with you, which includes the Double Your Business Productivity full course, includes Wake Up Motivated in order to combat procrastination. It includes the results machine software, and it includes getting things done for internet marketers by David Allen. As I said before, is not available for sale. Now, what happened was I had a conversation with Jay a while ago, and what we uncovered as we're talking, I said, well, what would you guys probably benefit from the most? And we decided productivity time management would help you learning all the stuff that you're learning this weekend. How do you take all of the stuff that you've learned this weekend and put it into a plan of action so you can implement it next week, next month? Because as Diane said yesterday, you don't want to be back here in 6 months or a year with being in the same position as you are now. So all that noise, get rid of it. What we decided was for today only, and today only, is we will bring Double Your Business Productivity back as a full package for you guys. Now, because you're in the UK, because I'm in the UK, and I'm not from the US, but because of that specific reason, we're going to do it at a slightly better price for you, which means you get the entire package that I just talked about, everything included in that, today, as long as you take action, for only £497. Now this is pounds, not dollars. £497. That's everything included in the Double Your Business Productivity package. Now, as with anything I do, I always want to over-deliver. I want to increase the value, I want to ramp that up for you to help you take action immediately. And I'm thinking, what can I do to really help you guys, to really give you a chance, to really help motivate you and be there for you so I can work closer with you on a one-on-one basis. And I thought, what was the biggest defining moment for me? What made the difference in my life? It was working with that coach, wasn't it? It was when that coach literally helped me plan what I needed to do, told me those 3 things that I implemented. I thought the best value I can give you guys is my time, my most valuable asset, your most valuable asset. So what I'm going to do as a bonus, I'm going to give you 2
30-minute one-on-one strategy sessions with myself. The value is £255. Now, I normally charge my time at $397, but because we're in the UK, I'm converting this obviously back to pounds. So £255. And basically what will happen, just imagine the process again, just go through this process. You go through the strategies in double your business productivity. You learn how to double your business productivity effectively. You get everything in place, so you learn those strategies. Then you take those strategies, you implement them using the results machine software that you have on a daily basis. Now, there's 2 levels of distraction, and this helps you conquer both of those levels of distraction. So you get that strategy session. So we do the first, so you go through the strategies, you learn the strategies, and then we have our first 30-minute call. Now, on that first 30-minute call, basically it's up to us to create a plan for you to implement this into your business and into your life. So all of the stuff that's going on, how do we focus? And that will be the focus of the call. It's how to actually help you get the information that you know already into a plan of action so you can start to succeed at this, so you can start to make a difference. And then what we'll do is you'll go away, you'll implement that, we'll come back again, and we'll do another 30-minute call to make sure you're on track, to make sure you've got everything in place. The second thing I wanted to add to this as well, because I'm guessing that many of you guys will have questions as you go through the trainings, be like, well, do I focus on this now? Do I focus on this? You know, I've had consulting calls with several of you, and there's been a lot of things going on in your lives. And it's like, well, where do I focus? And this is some of the questions. Well, what do I do this? And what you probably need is somebody from a higher level perspective who's been doing this for 7 years telling you that's not going to work, that will work, that will help, you should be doing this instead. So we'll come back, we'll do another 30-minute call as well. And what we'll do is I'm going to give you this specific strategy webinar. It's on the 10th of the 10th, 2012, and dependent on how many people are here today, this may be changed to a slightly different date, but this is £97 worth of value. It's going to be a live strategy webinar. So if you have any specific questions about what we've got going on, what you're doing in your business, you'll get that as well. And you can ask me, and basically I'm going to do similar to what Diane did yesterday, and that's hot seat coaching. Hot seat coaching live. I've done it with several people, again in this room at the moment, on one of these webinars exactly. So we'll uncover live on the webinar a strategy for you to help increase your productivity. Productivity means getting more things done with less time, being more intelligent with the tools that you learn. So you get this included as well. Now, the third thing I wanted to do, because I realised the power of live events. I realised the focus of live events. You guys being here today, learning all this stuff, completely absorbing all this stuff in an environment now where you're 100% focused. There's no distraction out there. And guys, if you've bought the results machine or double your business productivity before, you will not have seen this before. This is critical. This is critical to your education, to your development. And that is what I'm going to do, is I'm putting on a live event. It's called Instantly Productive. And it's going to be on the 9th of the 2nd, 2013. Now, this is why I asked you to write that date down earlier. Instantly Productive. Basically, you walk into that room on that day. It'll be a one-day event. You'll walk in as one person. What will happen is we'll go through the strategies, the tactics. I'll teach you live there. This is limited. It's got limited spaces to 20 people in that room. Limited to 20 people only. Because I want it to be a live, close, personal interaction where I can work closely with you guys to help you develop a strategy and a plan in your business, in your life. This is £497 this ticket's going to be selling for. But I'm offering that many spaces. But I'm actually, you'll see in a minute, there's actually only going to be 10 spaces available, and I'll tell you why in a second. But imagine walking in as one person, walking out as a different person, where you're able to implement all those strategies and all those tactics that we talk about. Take all that noise away again. Implement it in your business. So you come out of there with a plan, with a strategy, knowing which to focus on, so you don't have all this other stuff going on, and you're able to succeed at what you do. Guys, the last thing I want to give you today, which whenever I've been to an event, and maybe when you go to events as well, you may always, and I know I certainly wanted to in the past, take a business partner, somebody in your network marketing business, somebody, a friend, a relative, somebody who doesn't know what you do, so they can experience that as well with you, so you can help impact them as well, help change their life. So what I want to do as well is I want to add, and I don't think Jay even knew about this, but I want to add a second ticket to this value £497, so you can bring somebody else along to that event as well. Somebody else along. Value £497. That means they will experience the exact same thing that you'll experience as well. And they'll walk out the same as you with a plan of action. Now the best thing with this, if you don't want to bring somebody else, what you can do is you can sell this ticket. You can sell this ticket. So basically, you get this entire program for free. You sell this ticket. Instantly productive, the date I told you about before, value £497. Now, guys, here's what you get when you buy now. You get Double Your Business Productivity, the full multimedia course, you get for £397. That's how much value that costs. Getting Things Done for Internet Marketers, value £97. You get 2 30-minute coaching calls with myself, value £255. You get the Ultimate Productivity Mastership video series, I'm not sure if everyone can see there, sorry. Full Wake Up Motivated course, so if you procrastinate at all, you can hit that run in, you can get your morning strategy set up, so you're aligned fully with your purpose, value £109. You get the Results Machine latest version, version 3.0, this works with both Mac and PC, value £97. You get the live business strategy, productivity strategy webinar on the 10th of the 10th, 2012 that I'll be holding with you guys that come along with this, value £97. And you get 2 tickets to Instantly Productive, the live event, value £994. That's a total value of £2,143 what I'm offering you guys today with the very small investment that I just mentioned. Now, as I said before, you can sell that ticket if you want to, if you don't want to bring somebody else along, which means you get this program for free. Guys, as I said, £497 is the price of Double Your Business Productivity, but what I decided was, and again, what we talked about, how much information have you learned this weekend? How many courses? You may have bought courses from Brian, maybe from Dagan later on today, maybe from Diane. How many other courses have you bought? Now, one thing I'm aware of is it all costs money, doesn't it? It all costs money. And in order, we know, as Brian pointed out and Diane pointed out, that the number one thing is investing in your own education. And how do you take all that stuff? So what I decided to do to help you guys, because again, costs, prices, etc., was for, and as I said, there's only 20 spaces at this event, 20 spaces at Instantly Productive. If you want to be one of those people, and that means there's only 10 slots available today, because, and this is going out live stream as well, so just remember there's a lot of people watching live stream as well. What I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to make this a lot more affordable for you. So you get everything I just talked about, the £2,000 worth of value, plus the live event, my coaching time, the Results Machine, Double Your Business Productivity. Guys, if you take action immediately, and if you want to pass the forms out, guys, in a second, I know the forms are over there, Jay. If you want to pass the forms out, guys, you're going to get the price today is going to be £297. That is all you will pay for that. That's a day with me, effectively. So if you've been part of the Results Machine or Double Your Business Productivity before, you get the whole thing, and you probably won't find anybody else charging this less. You get the whole thing for just £297. Guys, again, take action. The forms are coming out now. If you want to speak to me, I'll be around to answer any questions you have. Bring them to me as quickly as possible. In fact, take them to the back table as well. Take them to Jay over there. Sorry. The town the event will be, I don't know yet. It's going to be in the middle of the country somewhere, because I know that's more accessible to a lot of people. People that are in the south, people that are in the north can still come to there. So it will be somewhere around the middle, but there's no specific location yet. Probably what I'll do is I'll find out where most people live, and it'll be very close to them. So guys, all you need to do again is just fill out that form, make sure you write your name and email address, your various details on there, and bring it to the back of the room.
Can I come?
You certainly can, absolutely. Yeah, we can
Self a ticket.
Yeah. Right, so
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So guys, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your time. Just remember again, 10 slots available. Just think about what this will do for your business as well. So thank you again. I appreciate it.